What is standard error? In statistics, standard error is the number which tells us how closely the numbers from our sample actually match the real numbers in the population. Let's imagine that we wanted to find out the average height of all the people in the world. That would be the population mean. So we can't measure all the people. So instead, what we could do is we could measure 100 people and we could find out the average height of those 100 people. That would be the sample mean. The difficulty is, first, it's not obvious that that sample mean is equal to the population mean, and it's also the case that different samples are going to give different means. Well, the good thing about this is that what we can do is, let's imagine we have many samples. We can take the mean of each sample and plot it in a distribution. This is called a sampling distribution. The standard error is the standard deviation of the sampling distribution. The standard error is how far different sample means would be within a population. Now, the good thing about standard error is that you can work out the standard error from your sample from just one sample. You don't need lots of different samples because standard error is equal to the standard deviation of your variable divided by the square root of the sample size. And the reason for that is that the wider the spread of the variable, the more different the sample means will be, and also the larger the sample size, the closer the samples come to match the population, therefore the more similar the means will be. Once we know the standard error, we can't actually find out the population mean, but we can estimate that it lies within a particular interval called a confidence interval. Because the thing about sampling distributions is they tend to be normally distributed. If you go back to the normal distribution, you have the mean of that distribution, and 95% of those data points are within 1.96 standard deviations from the mean. If it's a sampling distribution, it means that 95% of those sample means will be within 1.96 standard errors of the mean of that distribution. And what that means is that if we measure many samples, 95% of the time, the average for height, for example, will be within a range between this number and this number. And so we can't actually find out what is the population mean, but using standard error, we can estimate values for the population. That is standard error.